Okay, so question number 15 says find the addresses of all the departments and use the locations and countries table. Okay, so we have to find the addresses of all the departments, and let's see how we can do this at this point. Again, if you are joining for the first time, please go back to the first part so that you know how to get to this workspace and then use it. Okay, so we need addresses of all the departments. So we have department table, we also need locations table, and we need countries table. So let's describe them first. Let me describe HR.departments, department HR dot describe HR.countries, and describe HR.locations. So in this way, we should be locations, not locations. So let me just run it one more time. So we need to find the addresses of all the departments. Let's see where the addresses are. We have the address here, street address in locations, right? Okay, so we are going to select this. Select L.address. Remember I told you that L.street address. Remember I told you that if you want to do join, you have to use aliases for the name of the tables, right? So in this case, the location table, we are going to call it L. And it's going to be addresses of all the departments, okay? So you're going to say from L dot what? L dot from HR dot locations, right? So this makes sense. Now this gives us all the locations available there. Let's see. Let's just get it right. Okay. So we have to find the addresses of all the addresses in the locations, but we wanna find the addresses for the departments, right? So it means we are going to join this table L. We are going to join it with departments table HR.departments. D, right? That is fine. And we are going to join it on, let's just drop this one down. We are going to join it on what? On department and location is linked with location ID. So let's see. So we have departments, got location ID. So it's gonna be D dot department ID. D dot department ID equal to L dot location ID. Alright, so at this point we can get the address of all the departments at this point. But how do we know these are the addresses of all the departments? Let me correct this street address. We can just add the department name here. So I'm going to say the department name, okay? And this is going to give us the department name and the address of that department because we already joined it with the locations table, and it's going to give us the address. Invalid statement. Okay, so I have a mistake here. So it's going to be on L. We have on D dot department ID is equal to D dot location ID is equal to L dot location ID. So this will give us the correct answer at this time. Okay, but we also need to, just give a second. Okay, so we have the department name and the address of this department coming from the location table, but we also want to join the country name to this table, so like the address, the country. So it means that we're also going to add the country table here. So I'm going to say C.country, is country name, or let's see, let me check it. It's country name. So it's going to be C.country name, country underscore name. But this time we're also going to now join. So I'm going to join the country and the let's see. So location ID is available in the country, and so you have a country ID here, and we also have the country ID in location. So we are going to join location and country. So I'm going to say join HR.countries, C C, right? Because we have C to be country here. On C.country ID is equal to location.country ID. Okay, so we have joined the countries at this point. So let's run it to see if we have a country. I'm going to actually take out this describe statement here. I'm going to run it again so I don't have any distraction. Location. So it's going to L.country ID. Sorry, so sometimes I forgot. Okay, so we have the country name now, but we want the country name to be part of the address, right? We want to say 2014 Jabberwocky Road, comma, United States of America. So I'm going to join the country name here by using this operator here. So if I use this operator, it's going to simply join the two together as one, but we want to give a space, so I'm going to just add one empty space using single quotes like this, and then use the same double bar operator. And maybe I can just put a comma here, and if I run it now, it's going to display the address correctly, as you can see right here. Okay, so this is how we complete part 15. All right, let's move to part 15. As question number 16, it says, again, if you are joining for the first time, hit the subscribe button. If this is your first time joining, you need to go back to part 1, or you go to live.oracle.com and you can get to this workspace where we are now, and check the description box of this video. You can see a link to some of these questions I have here. Alright, so show the location ID, the street address, the city, state or province, and country. Okay, so show the location. So we are going to use what we have here, this what we've already written here. So we have the location table is L, the country table is C, the location, address, and city. So we don't need the department. Good. So that makes it a bit easier for us. Location ID, street address. So let's go start selecting it. So I'm going to take out the department now. So we have join department. I'm going to take it out here. So it's going to be join HR.locations L, join HR.country C. So I'm going to select L.location ID, and L.street address, and so now we are not concatenating anything. And where do we have the city? The city is also in the location table, as you can see right here. So I'm going to say L.city, just say L.city, the state or province, so it's with L.state underscore province, L.state underscore province, and the country. So I guess that should be the country name. So I'm going to say C.country name, C.country name, country name, and that should be fine. So I'm going to just take out this alias from here, and I'm going to click on run. So let's see, if we scroll down, we can see our results. So we have everything: location ID, the street address, the city, the state or province, and then the country name. We move to number 17, display the last name and department name for all employees. I think this should be very easy. I'm going to take out the descriptions. So I'm going to say select last name and department name. Now in the department name is in the department table, so we need to get the department name from the department table. So I'm going to say, so let's use alias again. So I'm going to say the employees table is E dot last name and D dot department name, because we are now using alias for the names of the table. So it's going to be from HR dot employees. So So we are going to get from the employees table the last name, and we are going to join employees table. Is going to be E, right? So just put the E after the name of the table. Join HR.departments D on, right? So we have on. The department table and the employee table is joined by department ID, if I'm not mistaken. So on E the department ID equal to D the department ID. So this should be table of view does not exist. So it's going to be departments, not department, and that should be fine. So let's run it and see. Last name should be last underscore name. Yeah. Okay, so we have the last name and department name for employees displayed right here. Okay. Number 18, display the last name, the job, department number, and department name for all employees who work in Toronto. Toronto is the name of the city, right? Because this is getting interesting. So so where do we have the city? The city is in the locations table, right? Yeah. So okay. So we're going to use one more join, but we have the last name, the job, the department number, and the department name. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to describe all the tables that we are going to be selecting from so that we can know what are the column names, the correct column names to use. So I'm going to say describe, or maybe I can just open the schema in another tab instead of to be writing queries continuously. So this is the schema. It doesn't really tell us so much. So we have the last name comes from the employees table. So we're gonna have either last name, the job, that's another thing. Is there a job table? Yeah, we have jobs. We have jobs here. So we have, the jobs table, we can call it J. So we have J dot job title, right? So job title is what is expected, not the job ID. So I'm going to say J dot job title. All right, and department number. So it's going to be, we can get the department number from the employees table. So we have the E dots department ID. So in that case, we don't need to go to our join with the department table. We also need the department name. Okay, so let's say D the department ID and D the department name. Okay, for all employees who work in Toronto. So let's do our joins first, and later we now check who works in Toronto. So let's join the employee table with the department, with the job table, right? So we have employee, HR is employee, join with what? Join with the HR, the jobs, J. So join HR, the jobs J on E, the job ID, is equal to J the job ID. All right, so we've joined the job table to the employee table. So now I want to join the department table to the employee table. So I'm going to say, give me 1 second. HR the jobs J, that's fine. Okay. So I'm going to join one more time. So I'm going to join department, HR the departments. HR the departments is going to be D. I'm going to join it on E the departments ID is equal to D the department ID. So we are joining the column that is these two tables have in common. Okay. So let me just cross check to make sure everything is okay. So we have E dot last name, J dot job title. Let me just go to check J dot job title. Okay, so permit me to just go back one step and check that the employees table also has a job title. So I'm going to go to employees table here, and in employees table, let's see, we also have a job ID, so that is correct. Okay, perfect. So we are joining employee to the jobs. So employee.job ID is equal to D. Actually, not D.job ID, J.job ID, right? HR employees E, join HR.jobs J on E.job ID is equal to J.job ID. Then join HR.department D on E.department ID is equal to D.department ID. I'm going to run it now and let's see what we have. So we have a typo here, so it's going to be department, not department. Okay, so I think we have it correctly now. So basically, this is simply about manipulating joins. So take some time to get your head around how this query is. We have last name, we have job title, we have department number, and we have department name. We move to 19 now. Create a query to display all the employees from the employees table. I think this is very easy. So it's simply select star from HR.employees. And I'm going to run, and I'm going to quickly move to 20 now. The following select statement executes true or false. So let me just kind of enlarge it and see. Sorry. From employees, select last name and first name. It doesn't execute. So that's you don't have a from before the select. 21. Create a query to display department number, department name, manager number. Name the last column manager number heading as MNG and these employees table. So let's see how to solve it. So it says create a query to display department number. So I'm going to say select departments ID, and it's coming from the employees table. Okay, departments ID. Department name is coming from the departments table, so it means we need a join. So we have E the department ID, and we have E dot manager number. Okay, manager ID. Okay, then we need the department name that's coming from the department table. So it's going to be D dot department ID. Okay. All right. So we are going to join employee and department. So I'm going to say from HR dot employees E join HR dot departments D. Alright, so we've combined the table because we are selecting data from the two tables. Okay, so the last name column, the manager number, let's get it right. Name the last column manager number heading as MNG. So the manager number, which is E that manager ID, name it as MNG like this. That's what they expect us to do. So yeah, so that should be fine. So let me run it. Missing keywords. Oh yeah, so we're going to say join it on HR dot on E dot department's ID is equal to D dot department's ID, because you need to specify the join column you want to use. So I'm running it again now, and let's see what we have. All right, so we have name the last column, name the last column manager number as MNG. So we have to just rearrange these and move these to the last column here. Okay, so just put a comma here and take out this one and run it one more time, and this should be it. So we mixed up something. So we have department number, department name, right? And manager number. Okay, perfect. So department ID, department name, and manager number. Alright, 22. Now, the following select statement executes successfully, true or false. Select department name, department name from department. That's an interesting one. So let's see. Select. It executes successfully, I know, but let's just see. We are selecting two things at the same time. Department name and again department name. So in this case, it's not a problem, it's going to just display it twice. So from HR.department. So let's see. Yeah, so it works, it displays it twice. Number 23, the following statement executes successfully, true or false. In this case, we have select statements, but they are mixing up the cases of the letters. So the best thing is to try it. I know it's going to work, but let's just make sure. So I'm going to say select. So it's going to select. Okay, so let's see. I think it's going to work because the select statement in SQL is not case sensitive, and also the column names are not case sensitive as well. So I'm going to run it and let's see. So you can see it works. The department name not case sensitive, and the select statement or the keywords, SQL keywords, are not case sensitive. However, the schema name is case sensitive. So I think the schema name is case sensitive. I can't remember. So I'm going to just change this to HR and let's see what happens. It also works. So select statement, SQL statements are not case sensitive. 24, create a query to display the employee number, the first name, last name, phone number, and department number. So let's try this. So we want to select the employee. Department number comes from the department. So we are going to join again. So I'm going to say select. Now select is not case sensitive. So I'm going to say E for employees table, E.employee ID. First name, E.first name, E.last name. Where do we have the phone numbers? I don't remember. So we have E. I think we should have the phone number in employees table. I don't remember. Phone number, and we have the department. Department number from HR.employees, E, join HR.departments, D, on, E.department ID is equal to D.department ID. So when you're joining two things, you need to specify the column that's in common between the two, all right? And let me quickly check because I don't want errors. Let me check where we have the phone number. The phone number is in the employees table, as you can see right here. So I think this should be correct. So let's run it and let's see. Department number invalid. Department number is invalid. Wow. Department ID and not department number. So it's gonna be department ID. And I think at this point I'm going to be moving straight to number 25. 25 says create a query to display the first name, last name, hire date, salary, and salary raise after 25% of salary raise. Okay, name the last name. We're going to do this later. Let's take it step by step. So first, maybe I can just reuse this. So maybe, no, I'm not reusing anything. So let's just take out all of this. So we are going to select first name because I'm not sure we are joining anything. So let me just use the first name. Last name, hire dates, salary. Okay, now they want us to also display the salary after a raise of 20%, right? So we have to do a calculation here. So I'm going to calculate 20% of the salary and add it to the salary. So I'm going to say salary plus 20% of the salary. So it's going to be 20 over 100 times, right? I forgot how to do all these calculations. 20 over 100, right, times the salary, right? So we are adding to the salary 20 over 100 times the salary, and now this calculation here is a new column because columns are separated with comma. Name the last column after the raise, the annual salary as, let's say, as annual salary, annual underscore sal. Alright, so I'm going to select all of this is coming from hr.employees, let's see. And I'm going to run and let's see if it works well for us. Yeah, so it works, and you can see that the salary raise now is from 24,000 to 28,800 here, from 17,000 to 20,400, and so on. So the raise is added, and we have done a calculation within the select statement. Now this is something you want to think of, or you want to keep in mind because you might encounter it. Alright, so the next one says create a query to display the last name concatenated with the first name separated by space, the telephone number concatenated with the email address separated by hyphen. So I'm going to take a pause here. I'd like to thank you for viewing. Let's continue in the next part. And if you've not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, any recommendations at all, or any comments, please leave it for me in the comment box below this video. I remain Kind the Tech Pro, and I'm always there for you.